Temple entrance. So we're more or less rushing to the end at this point. Well, rushing might be the wrong expression. I don't think there's any task really left for us to do. At least not important enough to us to get distracted. Also, to some extent, specialty fights are interesting, but the standard group of nobodies that you have to throw a hailstorm at, those are not particularly interesting fights. They're not terrible, but sort of the point of playing a solo is to get into interesting situations here and there, figuring out how you're gonna deal with them. Normal groups of enemies don't offer that. We also know the solutions to the puzzle, so they're not exactly all that engaging either. I don't recall if this has something. Yeah, I had a vague recollection that it might. This is the illusionary wall. I'm not sure how you're supposed to spot that spot. Right, I seem to recall getting stuck in these puzzles for a while. Didn't know, well, the solutions were there at our disposal. Just wasn't sure how to proceed with some of them.
A tremendous power approaches. Guardian, divine.
This seems to be broken.
Source Temple main chain. I think there's a poison trap here. Although our solution to poison traps probably should be to just ignite it, because the fire is not the problem for us. So why not just get rid of the poison by doing that?
This seems to be broken.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is sort of a warm-up. It's also you can proceed further forward, which we can do already. I think you need to light up the center, that's one, light up the circle, that's one, and then light up the others, that's one. So we can proceed further. But I don't recall what you miss out on if you do that at all. So I'm sort of reluctant to just answer correctly immediately. And I think they're probably just sort of challenges where you are put to the test. The answer to how you're supposed to deal with them is somewhere here. And absorb elements. Decrease armor, grant higher resistance against all of the elements. Not bad. I have a hard time seeing how the archer really ends up working. Trial of Ascension log. These are the tips. I guess this game basically should be played in a way where you're more or less settling for the gear you find. Have a dedicated crafter, and then spend your money wisely. Upgrade it when you basically know where you want to take your character. You can't get it all. Also buy every kind of elemental essence that comes your way if you can afford it. 4-man group is quite a bit more expensive to equip. Blank skill books. Because we surely still have use for them. Better loot it all. I don't want to do the solutions to this now, simply because I don't know how it affects the trials before it. This might be one of those things that a single character can't do. How much free carry weight do I have? I'm taking the oil and water barrels that I've stacked here. We're not really using these anyway.
I'm overheating here.
I might as well do... I have a couple of fuses, 14, right. Might as well do some firestorm grenades. We should also do the buffalo saber thing. I'm sure the weapon is not useful to me in any way. I just want to see what it actually is. Old saber. Buffalo amulets. So level 21 one-handed weapon with +2 strength. Requires strength 15 to wield. An intricately carved buffalo head motif forms the hilt of this unusual saber. It's no good. Suppose I could also go with the turtle shell, but that doesn't afford me poison resistance. Not enough weight. that just triggers a trap. This worked in an odd way. When I went in there, the chest disappeared. I teleported through this, and I don't know why. It's probably a way to get the chest.
Oh.
Renewal for Rivalon.
Not sure why I did that. Not like lava was gonna hurt me. One is material, one is spiritual. Too low level to be in any real interest. I don't think I can throw a pyramid through here. Yeah, I don't understand the rules. Sometimes you can throw things through, sometimes you can't. Just asking for consistency. So you could reliably have a little bit of a concept if your idea is gonna work or not before you start trying it. Rubbish. So too low level. Too much weight. It's probably a fair assessment. You can try to hoard intentionally heavy items. See if I can send some stuff to Homestead. Trap Disarm Toolkits 31 has a huge amount of weight, for example. Just treasure items. Okay, still, that's one down.
You look, you cannot see.
I'm pretty sure I don't actually care if we get spotted here. Benefit of high resistances. Air gate. Yeah. God damn it, it's big. Yeah, I feel like this time this is not gonna take quite so long. What about this? We have weak and downtrodden, poor and a needy. Stand for myself above all else. Master of my own person first and foremost. Always sacrifice self.
Ghostly masquerade.
That's number 2 down. You get to these side passages. Suppose you can teleport in here, that's why that's there. But how is that related to the chest there? I don't know. We need some kind of weight there to get this door open. We could also leave a pyramid here, which I don't want to do now. This. I'm hoping I can just throw a pyramid through. Getting out is easy. Problem is, are we gonna get the chest? If I go... okay. Safe. If I go to the chest now, it'll disappear. Right. Usually you can at least take something of the container before it disappears. There's some kind of a trigger here though, but it doesn't... yeah. Maybe it's the trigger to open the door, the trigger to remove the chest. So I need to open the door, but I can't take the chest from this direction. So we would have to go back. I need some kind of a way to at least test this theory. Rex's head probably doesn't contain enough meat to act as weight. How about a cooking pot? Yeah, but another. Yeah, this might actually require some serious weight. But plate scraps. Not even close. Creating some paper ingredient. Likely not gonna use it. The point is I'm giving up the water barrel, so I want to use up the items that have some use for the water. Doesn't seem to work. No, if I get off the switch as a person, the chest will disappear, so I have to loot it while standing on the switch.
Whee!
Yes.
Treasure!
What other doors open if I stand here? All of them. That's a pretty big deal. Even more weight needed. Shit. Requirements just keep going up and up and up. Yeah, these never close now. Aha. I don't think I can do it like this.
What's that gleam?
What I need to do is leave a pyramid into the previous room. No? No. So there are multiple ways to do this, which fits the game quite nicely. Last little challenge. Probably quite a lot of traps here. Maybe some guardians. This was a teleportation maze. You can't do this without this amount of perception. You basically have to locate the correct area. Yeah, this. You need to access to this. The statue can be removed. Everything else is sort of maybe nice, but unnecessary. I'm guessing the value of perception you need is 7, because there's the medium perception potion you can get. There's quite a few minor treasure items you can pick here. Not sure if it's worth my time.
Sigurd's beard was a find.
I'm not interested in playing around with keys anymore. Not if I don't have to.
Sigurd's beard was a find.
The equipment can take quite a lot of punishment. Purple room chest key.
That's a trifle, my dear.
Nothing. Well, I did not expect that. Right, this is the key.
The seven grant abundance.
I've spotted something interesting.
I really don't have interest in the random loot items we could pick up from that. It's not worth it. Just wanted to see what it actually takes when you know what you're more or less supposed to do. Yeah, you'll never leave this dungeon alive. Except if I leave, like teleporting immediately out with no trouble. Proud and daring, boldly facing any challenge. Caution and care. Bullshit. Pillar of self-awareness. Does this reflect on your actual traits? My traits are pretty much the same as, because they are clearly, I am spiritual, I am, what is that? I don't recall what it was exactly, but I think the choices I make basically match my traits. But I seem to recall that they were also somewhat hinted at in the books. But yeah, there definitely was spiritual versus materialistic. I've never chosen an option that was against my own trait. So maybe it doesn't really matter which one you choose. It matters that it has to correspond with your choices. It doesn't really matter. I mean, that's something you'll easily find out. There's 50-50 chance even if you're unsure what you're supposed to do. Right. All done. Halo of Light. Just a single one at the center. One to situate the center. 3 lights. So I think all these trials are basically unnecessary to proceed. You'll get a little bit of extra if you do, but they're fundamentally unnecessary. Because I did these, at least a couple of them, without completing the trials. To understand here too. Or is there a sequence? Yeah, it's probably a sequence then. What now? Two pathways. All lead to the same shit. Which is what exactly at this point? Ooh, Zendalore. Another... shit. Another Starstone, Bloodstone, whatever.
Xandalor! Is he dead? Guardians, the last of the portals, Xandalor! But what is... Leanne, stand back, Guardian.
What did...
As ever, Xandalor.
I'm better than I've any right to be.
She isn't herself.
How can it be? Anything I can do to help you, Leandra, the portal behind... But here you are. The God. I am some of the most as the keeper of the source. And who else? The souls that reside within you yourselves.
Leandra has...
The tapestry of...
It's a long story, Xandalor.
As I understand it, it is my belief now that you have remembered your truth as you wish.
Quite a lot of experience. No way enough to get to level 22 though. Ah, crap. What did you want to discuss about?
Yet again, Leandra disabled Zandalor, but did not kill him. Perhaps there's hope she may be redeemed.
A seed of humanity still lives within her.
And that
Romantic, no. Pragmatic 5, romantic 4, yeah, that's bad. Do we need to do any crafting? No, so it doesn't really matter. We need to decide what to do with the 4 points. Shield specialist or an attribute? You need sort of 13 strength to do anything. I'm not sure if that's a smart idea. We would lose dexterity and initiative if we change that. I think I still want to interact with the demon, maybe by point of strength won't make a difference though, you need at least 2 points. We could give up 1 ring. This has burning immunity, which is nice, but honestly, if we don't go wading in lava, it's not all that important really. And we got a couple of extra items too. Right, I'll go until the end of time, deal with the shots there, and guess we're going to move on to ending the game.
Dear guardians, dear saviors, Leanne, this way!
The opposite way, you say? We probably have to be both alive before we can move on in these further areas. Probably.
You again, my
That
friend.
might be
And
troublesome.
so soon after tomorrow, how can I help you this time?
Nothing really noteworthy, which is fine. Last equipment done. Immunity to being stunned and locked. Rubbish saver. Constitutional leadership. A lot of okay stuff, I'd say. +3 initiative belt could technically be useful still. I'm not sure if I want to visit the demon. My reasoning for it is thus. A single point isn't gonna make much of a difference anyway. Plus, even if I lose, let's say, a point of crafting and I still want to continue crafting, the 4 points is perfectly sufficient to get the job done. So they're just in case the trades do some weird switching around at this point. I can use the remaining gold points to counter that. So when weighing that against the fact that the single attribute almost anywhere won't make a noticeable difference really, I think I'm gonna live with that. If I had used less point initially on skills, which I think would be a very realistic option. You don't really need any of this if you don't really want to. I mean, you could be much more focused instead of spreading your points around. A crafter and a man at arms, proper fighter would have worked well, for example. Or try to get your way through acting as a scoundrel. I don't know. There are options. Interesting options, probably. But again, there comes a point where you can't get all that much out of your attributes anymore. Still, let's move to end the game. Full of secrets. The chapel. Never know what the forbidden zone is. I have no idea. I had the one idea at one point that you can use the werewolf armor, equip it, and get through this. Yeah, no. That's something I'll look, but I'm not gonna worry about it now. I don't really have a clue what to do with it. Animals seem to go there. That seems to be the only clue. Maybe I need to rescue every animal, or there's a lot of quests involving animals, so maybe you need to make your proper choices there.
On the men!
It could be anything though, so I'm not gonna waste my time on it.
Ikara, listen.
No!
But before we...
Enough!
Are we going?
Once you
What lies be Leandra, Ikara, and I...
your fate.
Beyond here lies the true end of time, and it is our fate to stop it.
We wouldn't have made it this far if we weren't.
May the void...
My friends, and
I'm thinking of leaving the dead guy pretty much
This
behind at
cannot
this
be the
point.
first garden.
Something.
Stop fighting. Guardians of your caste. Fear is your only god.
Come on, fucking kill her.
Face the unending
We might have to come
darkness.
back and resurrect her. What the hell?
What's this I spy with my big little eye? It skitters like vermin.
Don't need her. That's excellent. At least not within this one area.
Backslider. You can't even save yourself.
There are some of these little side passages here. Wonder where they go.
Tell me true. You have heard the tale of the two deserters, but do you know in your hearts to be its true? Yeah!
The smudge of your existence. Will you know peace?
Hard nail.
You failed before. You will fail again.
Okay. What exactly am I supposed to do?
Just look at you.
Have you seen
My treasure.
She's run off. Look at your... Oh, it's all my fault.
I suppose the inverted names is supposed to be again another clue that you're the dream.
I'm sorry.
My dear, my prince, let me crawl.
This place feels... Is that you?
Welcome me. There's no wrong.
Have you seen my sister?
Careful there, hunters.
Please, this is gonna happen now.
I don't know. Do I have a choice? I do. I don't recall this all that well. It was confusing when I first entered here. Not what I expected.
Bless the sun. I am restored.
Book of the Immaculates.
Page after page is being written. And what have you to show for it but gore?
Blood, blood, blood. Will its flow never end?
Okay, where does the key fit? I think I'll have used some kind of a... Might have used one of the opening scrolls to get to this.
Wander, hunter. Exhaust yourself. All you have left is like a dream within a dream.
Returned to nothing.
Leandra, please, this has gone on long enough.
I think the biggest benefit that this takes to visit the demon would have been to respect the entire character and gotten rid of some of these pet pals and the scientists, things like that. Could have buffed your character a little bit. At the same time, it's totally unnecessary. Maybe in the Iron Man mode or whatever it's called, where you can't afford to die. But not in tactician mode. Not even as a solo player. How the hell do you get out of this? Am I supposed to pick something out of this?
Well, well. Looks like the doctors have become the patients.
Anguish.
Good thing that role reversal and poetic justice tend to go hand in hand.
Don't you worry. You'll be better soon. No. Back off. Stay away. Bloodstone.
Good God, the odor in here is sickening.
Away from her, sticky fingers. She is mine, and mine alone.
Okay.
I won't let the nasties hurt you, my darling.
My flesh melts before my eyes!
No, it's not.
Full of sweethearts.
So, what exactly are we supposed to do here?
I've spotted something interesting. What could that have done?
I have no clue. The thing is, at this point, I guess this is why I don't like this. At this point in the game,
I must douse these flames!
it's too late for certain type of things. too late for big secrets and trying to find out something extra. This is the time to move forward to put an end to things. So I don't like how it doesn't fit in that sense.
On the mend!
This is not by.
On the mend!
This is not a game where. Let me start again. This is not the only game that is guilty of this. There's quite a few games where it seems like they think that when you are getting to the end of the game, then is the time to put the biggest and most confusing maze-like levels for the player to play through. And I feel that's a mistake. You should have things converge to the end at that point. So a little bit move forward, not get bogged down with side crap anymore at that point. No puzzles, important puzzles or like. I'm up for those as past. I'm a little bit curious what we can pick up. Pumpkins. Poisonous flowers, rather. Bulbs, I think they were called.
Bless the stars! I am restored! We will return to the celestial. We will not pray to the goddess forever. Oh, such woe! Such
To be fair to this game, while this is confusing, there's not much of an option for you to do things. So the confusion will pass fairly quickly. It's not time consuming, it's just disorienting more than anything else. Auto save, excellent. General Alyssa. No, it's
Look here. If only I
definitely her. Good try. So what's special about this fight? There has to be something special. It was fairly straightforward the first time. So sad. I want to see what they have. I can't see their failing percentages. But they tried quite a few things. Remorse and Feeble, and none of it worked. But we are at the risk of getting -2 to our strength constantly, for example. So I'm thinking that we should try to maybe switch back to the strength so long. Because if that hits, we're boned. On the other hand, we did resist all of it, so these are fairly chill opponents, weak to earth, so I don't really care what they do. 6,000. Bit weak on the damage side. I mean, this is fine, but it's not a lot. Armor is again okay, but nothing special. Water weakness, earth weakness, physical damage weakness, fire isn't all that strong either, so as long as we don't use air, it's presumably fine. Same with these, I guess. Don't use any room or air. So, but this is something we already know, so that's not much helpful information there. I think I'll boost and go invisible.
Frenzy of fury!
Earthquakes incoming soon.
You look, but you cannot see.
I could pull back a little. Give me earthquakes.
Tectonic shifts!
Another one would kill the void wonders. Trife just has a huge amount of hit points. He's not really resistant to it at all. So how resistant do you feel? Water weakness. Yeah, that's probably not a good thing to have at this point. There we go. Enjoy. Plate graves. Plate greaves, 2 of them. Destroy summon. That sort of reminds me. What exactly do we should have destroy summon? Yeah. I don't think it says that directly. Yeah, I'm not really using another. What am I not using? A smoke screen. I'll want to ask this destroy summon there. Right.
Thank the gods, you must have triggered our waking yourselves. Tell me, what happened? Of course. The fact that you're here now means without his... Yes, those locked in that... Because the night... But before she... Ikara's... normally... 2-4... Ikara has... I don't know.
What am I going to do with
Ikara?
Ikara? Have her join up with her sister or
to a flake of
kill
their
the
light.
sister?
And look at all that's happened in the aftermath.
She'll turn against us at some point, but I don't think that matters. She'll also provide support. The turning against us wouldn't matter because my biggest worry is trying to keep the NPCs alive. So if she turns on the void side temporarily, I don't care. I just need to focus on the void during that time.
Some powers are... But I should say no more.
It's my sister's. Let's move on. Leandra is likely waiting for us even now. We will need to weaken her before we can use the spell to repair our soul, as you say.
They should have a lot of demons. Probably something else. Brachus Rex has been the only boss fight really so far that has had something unique to it.
Quite a bitty forgive. It's nearly. I don't want the slaughter.
Wake up!
You mean...
You.
I never...
Enough! The more you... Struck. Now arise and aid me one final time!
Again, here's the problem. They'll act first and they'll start doing nasty things. Right. My problem is void aura. My problem is keeping everyone alive. Zandalore is already doing that. Another immunity. Yeah, another immunity.
Enough! Let's send this devil back into oblivion.
So for the next couple of turns, nothing is gonna happen. With the improved initiative, I might have been able to start first. And Leandra is not super powerful and has obvious weaknesses. However, I don't think I could have killed her alone in that time. My biggest worry should be the Void Knights. Earth, fire, water, all works. Yep, and they're not super powerful anyway. But I probably should try to focus on killing a demon in fact. That way they can't replenish all the vulnerabilities. They're not super powerful either. I just don't have the luxury of going invisible, I guess. What works on you people? Fire might be a good start. We were a bit all over the place, but we got I probably should have killed the Void Knights. If they try to do something, they'll burn. Ooh, that's bad. Zandalore is not doing well. They're doing 300 point shadow damage attacks. And I'm immune to all that actually. Yeah, I should have just killed them. Worry about the demons after that. Zandalore is poisoned and stunned to lower half health. Blinded. Cursed. Yeah, Zandalore probably won't survive the next turn. Probably won't survive this turn, in fact. Okay, this might be my biggest real threat in this fight. Is there a problem if he dies though? I mean, I'm not going to give a shit about it. I need... they're gonna lose their invulnerability next turn. Nope. God's sakes, I want to oil them up, but I suppose invulnerability will prevent that. I'm going to abandon Zandalore and see if there's a consequence of that. I personally don't give a shit about him. How's this gonna help?
Into the fold of life. Join us once more.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends?
So Ikara basically wasted everything to resurrect the
sacred
guy
waters
who I didn't want
protect
to
you.
take any part in this.
See you shortly.
Yeah, they're casting void auras on each other, but I'm not sure if they can cast it on the Kara. Leandra. And if they can't, I'm certainly going to murder her immediately. Ikara dying might be a scary issue. I'm not sure what's gonna happen to the demons if that happens. Like, Leandra. Water, air, and that's about it. Physical damage. We have a lot of water to offer her.
You can't stop me. It's too late. The void.
This is the moment, Guardian. The spell. Use it now.
Ikara.
I don't know what's happened to...
I can't choose anything. Because it's the...
Leandra, it is time.
Wanna do some trading? Intelligence immunity to muted. Water absorption shield. 13,420. Well, she probably has Ikara stuff. What about Leandra's stuff? Can't use it all. Speed plus 3, perception 3. It's nice. I'll keep my equipment. I have no idea what's happening.
It is I. We are one. Leandra, she cannot. Of course. I will not fail you, Guardian. Take this. She says you must use it to
Oh, there's fighting going on. Yeah, enough of this bullshit. What are you weak against? We need to do 1,000 points of damage to him. Almost nothing really. I can't do all that much. And still he's gonna be knocked down, so I can do something. Burn him a little, then do some proper attack. Like, almost dead anyway. Igniting the poison always a great idea. I think Sandalor can finish him.
As hot as the hell, you will soon inhabit.
Just attack the guy. Don't haste me, just kill him. Whatever. Howling winds.
As long as the source surges through Rivellon, it keeps on, call it a curse.
Into the fray once more.
Bit annoying that the other guy is taking part in the conversations. We got a wand. I think we got a wand. There it is. Death Knight control wand. So instant plus 10 initiative. So you'll definitely start the fight. Allows Death Knight removal unlimited uses, right? But if we let go of the axe, we are boned. But we do have to take care of them, so well, we can probably do the Death Knight Bane, get rid of that, and place it with the instant death ability. Right. Hopefully the Shadow Dragon has something special going for it. Not exactly disappointed. Just saying it would be nice to see something
The first gun.
something different.
Astarte won't be far off now.
There was a shopkeeper of some sort.
I ought to keep Leandra's wand at the ready. Her army of Death Knights is likely nearby.
Victory shall be
Vermin! Eternal silence awaits you.
So at least one remains though.
victory shall be ours.
Obviously it shall be ours, because they can't possibly do anything to us, but
Speed is of the essence.
yeah, that's actually useful for me. I might be able to kill both of them on next turn. They'll without a doubt rush me. Or Sandal, or rather. He's gonna be the punching bag in these fights. Damage bonus is totally unwarranted. Doing 40% extra instant death isn't gonna mean anything. And you're gonna go and resurrect that son of a bitch, aren't you? Please fucking no. Yeah, he left. She left the fight. I might be doing a little bit of a different thing here with our companion. I'm thinking of giving her a couple of long duration invisibility potions. Because if she's in the background dead, Ikara's AI is basically going to just part, let's say, immediately and head for her. She's making a huge impact on how the fights play out, even though she's by being dead. So if I keep her alive but invisible and move her out of the fighting area, she won't be able to contribute anything meaningful to the fight, while at the same time not ruining it for me. So I think that's a more sensible approach.
Die, vermin!
Yep. Hello, resurrection. That's not good. It's not like I have too much use for the long duration invisibilities anyway. And I have plenty of the short range. I wonder if there shouldn't be more Death Knights, I think. The plus 10 initiative though is a nice thing. So this shit is not going to work. With 2 potions she should be out of the fight for 30 turns. That has to be enough. I'll give her one of the smaller ones too, just in case something disrupts the invisibility and we'll have to replenish it. Just don't do anything, please.
I feel better already. That's sweet relief. Back on my feet again.
Only the best for my favorite partner.
Your kindness.
What exactly did I give you? Potions, I guess? Okay. Final chance of doing something? No going back after this. Yeah, Brian's here to take care of our needs before we do the final. Anything new on the battlefield? It's fairly constrained. So everything, if we basically get anywhere near here, everything is within striking distance from the center. Hi Brian. How you doing?
Always nice to see a me? I'm just here to enjoy the show and make a sale or two.
Yeah, make a
On the
sale or
off
two,
chance that all
indeed.
this is still here tomorrow.
He seems to have the same crap he's always had, more or less. Maybe no. I'd say no, not really. It probably excludes all the crap I sold him previously. +2 armor class on the gloves. I'm not upgrading for that. I'm not particularly looking for much of an upgrade. I'm more or less looking what the options here would be. I'm not seeing anything really special. So if we've gotten something good, it's from the loot drops and nothing else. I don't exactly care for the gold, just wanting to see what we have. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Oh. Immunity to frozen, poison resistance. Just rubbish. And a lot of new boots. I was a bit surprised by that. would I use these? Why would I ever use these? Right. It's a nice pair of boots, nothing special, armor class lacking. Nice pair of boots, armor class lacking. Fine helmet, and nice pair of boots, armor class lacking. So it's just exactly the same problems we've already had.
Best of luck to
I
you.
do have to say, a little bit of dexterity would have gotten better equipment pieces elsewhere. While strength provides you with the central chest piece, but with almost everything else, I suppose shield too, and the weapon, yeah. But with the other armor pieces, dexterity would have been better. And we wouldn't have needed a lot of it, maybe around 10, 9. Either way. Let's put this thing to an end. Is everyone, is that okay? Where's Sandalore the loser? I don't care. Just fucking burn in hell if he wants to. One less guy I need to worry about.
The God Box! Could it be? It's...
My guardians, my fallen friends arisen. Let us stand together. Hear the clap, look.
Final battle. I'm guessing this will be multi-stage fight. There has to be something special about this. Astarte cannot die. As in, we can't let her rather.
Second fear, I can slow.
Her turn is never coming up. Yeah, this is bad. We're in a tough situation because she will impact the fight if she stays here. I think we have to leave her alive and behind with the invisibility potions. If she's forcefully moved here, we'll have to drink the potion while having this little conversation.
With this, the void might once more be contained.
My guardian, here, look.
Might still act as a distraction. I hope she doesn't, but she'll definitely go invisible. Okay. What one we can do? Okay, 9,000. Void Dragon is not gonna do too much in play. At least I hope he. 50% damage reduction. And 50% damage reductions all around. So either we prepare to do 18,000 points of damage to him, which is pretty tall order, or alternatively we'll have to soul sap his ass to double the damage we do. But we can do the soul sapping in total for 6 turns, and then there's no more soul sapping to be done. Tenebrium is out. Air would work too, a little bit. What about the rest of the users? You're the bigger problem. I can send someone there to put the Void Dragon in check. But these, not so much. Yeah, Tenebrium, Air, and people. 2,500. 2,100. These are melee guys. 2,566. Right. So. Lunging assault. We'll have to pace ourselves a little bit. I can't put all the damage bonuses on at the same time. Otherwise I don't have enough action points to actually do anything. Even the Void Dragon is knocked down. So I think this is an ability where we basically buy time. No one can really do all that much if we knock them down constantly. But there's the but. We need to be able to go on the offensive most of the time. Yeah, feeling the sorrow. He'll probably buff me. Nullify resistances. Okay, that helps. I guess. Unless that doesn't really help. Heal your own ass. That would be the best for me. Yeah, my armor class is probably fairly high.
See beyond the void.
Yeah. Perception increased. What is my armor class? 351. 78% physical damage reduction versus enemies below. Right, that's gonna be wonderful. How? Who wants to go on an earthquake thing again? No one. No one wants to do that. Rage. Now that we have 40% extra damage coming, now we want to go for Earthquake Grip. No resistance, 300% chance of success. Isn't this amazing? Didn't that affect the Void Dragon this time? He has 71% chance of resisting it. Extra 260% from bodybuilding. I need a distraction on him. Something to keep him in mind. It has to be something fairly significant. Undead Decapitator, I guess. Also, please don't point your breath weapon at me. I need to be able to pull this off continuously without any interruptions. I don't understand what's going on. Does shadow damage. Sarda is not doing well. What is that? Void Widow. What the hell is a Void Widow? Ah, it's going after you. I can't switch the turn either. Right, I'm guessing it just appeared here. So what I'm going to do with Dead Man is just drink the potion. I'm gonna need another decapitator there. This would leave me enough points to attack the Void Dragon too, so we might as well attack first. There is nothing I can really do to him though. I would have to, I think, lower his resistances first. Which wouldn't leave me much to do. Yeah, this is horrible. If I use a scroll, I can still attack, but I'll definitely lose the decapitator, and there's no one to act as a distraction. So on the other hand, if I attack and use I can summon another decapitator to replace it. I think we're gonna have to do this the hard way. This way it'll take longer, but there's less chance of the Void Dragon being able to do anything. And if we're lucky, we might even get a status check to stick. Air damage seems to work well, but it doesn't. Yeah, air damage would retain the Decapitator. Would also keep attacking him on another turn. I'm gonna go directly with Soul Sap, see if that does anything. Also save him. Because this can go in a lot of directions. I'm not sure what to start at the beginning every time. I'm not sure, basically, can I do a Soul Sap directly on a target like this, or do I need to lower their willpower first? Soul Sap first. That will crash their resistances. Yeah. Minus 50% on physical. If I could get closer, I could do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. But we'll have to settle for what we know. I want you to just attack the Void Dragon. Into stunning, and only took 4 hits, I guess. So nothing too amazing. But its hit point has been lowered because of the Soul Sap. Lost a couple of thousand points. I'd say he's lost about a third of his life. Eat your own ass. Fire damage this time. Void Weavers. Earth weakness. Yeah, everyone knows the drill. We have to disable them and try to do whatever we can with the remaining points. Still soul sap, so vulnerable to damage. I need 4 points to summon a new Decapitator, so I can use 6 points to attack. And what would we attack with? Fire usually works fairly well, although ice could potentially freeze his ass. And fire would be a problematic surface anyway. To aim this. Frozen. We need to attack again. We need to go full in, not hope anything bad. It did more damage than I thought. And Soul Sap, his stats are drained, so if we're lucky we can end this right now. I need to take this. Hesitation is death. Try to hold back is death.
It is over. The void, the taint, my champions, my gratitude is yours. All of us fell low once. There are more, even God. All I that we stand for my and ye, the only. But first.
So that's it. I'm not gonna end this. It's I'll leave things here. I mean, the fighting and the adventuring is over. I like the tactical mode a lot in the early games, but it's increasingly, once we basically started to be able to buy mass amounts of master level attack spells, the better ones, everything turned to pretty much cast a couple of spells from a skull and the fight just ends. I'm not sure how reasonable or unreasonable that is, but the tactical element at least heavily suffered from that. Here's the thing though. I'm not sure if it would have been quite this bad, well, bad and bad, if I had a full party. Because here's what happened. Because I knew I'm all alone and my biggest problem will be to kill things, right from the start, I built everything around increasing damage and being able to burst as much damage as possible. Because I knew that if I don't do that, I'll basically be screwed. Every turn that the fight goes on, it's less and less favorable to me usually. So, but if I can get enough damage, it turns the other way. I can use my massive offensive balls to just override their creatures and remove the need to have such a high defensive values. Although I do have to say that didn't really matter much because, yeah, armor rating 331, 69% physical damage reduction versus enemies of level 21, 100% immunities to almost everything they threw my way. So the challenge at the end would have been to keep the NPCs alive, not to remain alive. I'm actually, in fact, sort of certain that the lone wolf talent might not have been necessary. You could have gone with glass cannon instead. It would have been different. Probably a hellish thing to play initially. But here's the thing. 4 extra recovery action points. Your total vitality is decreased. But 4 extra action points. Right from the start, through everything. That's almost an extra master scroll you can throw. It's 6 points. But most novice and there's still quite a few that are 4 points. even at later stages. It would have been challenging to say the least. Lone Wolf is much better. I think you still get some of the benefits, but you have more vitality in addition to it. So Lone Wolf is definitely a better choice. Right. What I was saying about the single guy versus party, why the single guy is better? Because we focus on damage, everything on damage. But a group, you need to spend a lot of time buffing your own group, healing your own group, so you might not have a damage focused character in the same sense a solo player must have. My resources allowed me to focus things. I can have full resistances on all armor pieces. I can use extra pieces to create extra scopes. So with a full group, it's not quite so easy. It would have required 4 times the monetary resources to more or less to pull off what I did, and that's not happening. So in that sense, it sort of packs up into a tighter punch, which would mean that a fight against the Void Dragon, for example, I sort of pushed him from somewhere around 7,000 hit points to death in a single turn. So it's significant because usually there's a 50. When the 50% health point is reached, there's some kind of a change in the fight. There's some kind of reactions, there's resurrections, there's health pose uses, something. So I basically just pushed through it, so it never had time to happen. There could have been a lot of tactical elements that I just didn't see, because they never had really a chance to happen. I do have to say, the fact that a handful of Earthquake Scrolls are the only thing that allowed me to do that. Without these, I would have had to fight their minions, and just being able to ignore them was the key to success. Also, the huge focus in speed. If I had had a couple of action points less per turn recovery action points, I couldn't have done this again. You need to be able to push at least 10 action points every turn. I don't see this working as you have less. Preferably more, naturally. But I would say 10 is the limit, because you need to throw a lower level scroll here and there, and then you need to be able to throw the master attack spell every goddamn turn. You might alternate it between earthquakes and things, but preferably Earthquake and another sort of master level attack, so 12 would be comfortable. We had 13, and with proper gear or a setup you could have done more. What I think is maybe the most important part, there's no need for the huge vitality. All the constitution more or less was sort of pointless. Maximum action points are nice, but I never really had 20 action points. So if I had had 5 less constitution, it wouldn't not have been that much different. A little bit, but not that much. So again, gear-wise, the high armor rating is not necessary. The more you focus on offensive and action points, the less you need them. I think the resistances are, again, not that important really. What is important, I'd say, is the saving throws. Without those, you can always be disrupted, something goes wrong and you'd have to load. So saving throws, crafting, everything else is totally optional. Everything. Action points. Saving throws, action points, crafting. Those would have been the few things you need to do everything I did here. And I had a huge amount of extra resources. I stopped buying stuff at one point really, because you just get so much of it. And we had multiple ways of taking down the dragon. I could have just quickly go next to it, His attacks against me would have been worthless. I would not have been affected by status effect. The elemental or shadow attacks would have done nothing to me, and I could have done... He would have 50% extra damage on these, and I could have done closer to 1500 normally, so over 2000 points of damage per strike easily. And with adrenalines and other advantages, 2 turns and the Void Dragon would have been dead. So yeah, I still enjoyed the solo experience. However, definitely, I think the late game was sort of what I feared most of the game would have been if I would have played another game with global difficulty. It just... once you know what you to expect, it gives you such a huge advantage in what you can do. So it just isn't any funny anymore. Not particularly fun either. But this was, I think, a fairly good sweet spot. So you can play your overpowered monster character, but for most of the game we weren't at that point. We did have to struggle. There were problems. We screwed up here and there. So it wasn't always like that. But I don't know. My opinion of the game hasn't really changed by playing this solo playthrough. I still think this is a good game, but not a great game. There's a lot of potential, and the actual fighting situations and scenarios are mostly fun to play. I think the problem is there's still a limited amount of things you can really do in them. So the tactical components aren't that challenging. What they are entertaining, because you are going around in your mind thinking, how can I make this work? How can I create combinations? How can I disable the enemies? How can I screw things over? And you have a lot of options thanks to the different characters. And you can make your own team with your own selection of character classes if you don't take the standard companions. So there's a lot of there to play, and it's fun. But the plot and everything like that, the role playing, it's just not, it just isn't great, and the dialogue is still a piece of shit. The rock paper scissors thing, I hate it. So nothing's changed on that. It's still very enjoyable game to play. Definitely, I'm itching to buy the original Sync 2 at this point. Which is a very good sign.